Hi, and welcome to the Morning Moment. My name's Chap, and we've been in this sermon series on walking the way of Jesus. In this last weekend, we talked about how do we grow like Jesus as he learned obedience. And one verse that I read in the sermon, but still strikes me today and this morning, I want to share with you. Luke chapter 2, verse 52. Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. And that phrase, Jesus grew. I was talking to a friend recently who is going through some very tough times, some COVID related, some not. And in the course of it, as we're talking, we're sharing, there are a lot of tough things that go around. And that sometimes they're more intense than other times, that there's plenty of pain, plenty of struggle, plenty of questions, even fear and anger that can be around us. How do we grow in the midst of this? It's so easy when we're in the middle of struggle or hurt that the way we kind of get over it is to simply get through our day. That's what we talked about. It's kind of the idea of, neither one of us mentioned it, but the idea of killing time to move on to the next thing. Or the idea of, if I do, maybe I work out or I do something that gets my mind off of what's going on in my life. Is that really the way that we are called to live our lives? By just killing time or getting over something by being distracted? I just want to offer kind of a different way to think about life, even today, right now, wherever you are. And that is, Jesus grew. And the implication, as he grew up until he was 30 years old and began this public ministry that we know about, is there was a proactivity to his growth. There was not just a physical growth, there was not just a cognitive growth, but there was a preparation and a movement that he responded to be ready when he was 30 to be able to move in his public ministry. What does that mean for us? That means when we wake up in the day, even when we're filled with sorrow or pain or struggle or incongruity or fear or whatever consumes us, what's the first couple of things we do? How do we get through maybe those first few hours of the day or the end of the day when we start thinking about stuff? It seems important for us to remember that to Jesus Christ, this day is a gift. And we've talked about that in Morning Moments before. But in this context, what if we see the midst of life that we're in as not something to somehow shield ourselves from or to somehow be distracted away from, but to embrace as an opportunity to experience what God has for us today? Boy, that takes a lot of faith. It's not just churchy language. What if we decided, especially in those times when we're kind of tempted to withdraw or hide, God is a God of the new beginnings every single day. And that's what I was talking to my friend about. What if we take this day, this opportunity, even this feeling, as a chance for me to look into the movement of God right where I am, to look for the new life that's available to me, to ask for it. Even the baby steps can get us out of the perspective of killing time or not having to think about something and being distracted, but actually live this life to the fullest. There's something about seeing life as a gift. And each day, and each hour, and each encounter as a magnificent opportunity to see God's handiwork and God's movement. It takes a shift. It's not easy. But I want to let you know that I'm going to be giving a shot to that because of this conversation I had. And I'd like to invite you to do the same thing. Luke 2:52, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. He knew God was present and active, and Jesus joined him. Oh, would I join him this day? And may you join him this day.